All right, welcome to this simple strength circuit. This is 15 minutes head to toe, simple movement patterns. You can use one set of weights just to keep it really simple. I would recommend, because we're doing one set of every single exercise, that you really challenge yourself on that set. So lifting a heavier set, getting to fatigue by the end of each exercise. Each exercise is going to be timed for 45 seconds, and you're going to have 15 seconds to recover and just kind of switch off to the next thing. So I'll start cueing and teaching you what we're doing next so you can get right in and get that full 45 seconds of work. Are you ready? We're going to warm up first, so let's get started. We're going to start with a nice easy march. So nothing complicated here. We just want to get the body moving and grooving, get the joints lubricated, get our heart rates up just a smidge, get blood flowing, especially if you've been sitting part of your day, or you've maybe just gotten up and you've been sleeping, so you're not warmed up. So let's just get your body warm, moving through some movements. Make sure you have shoes on your feet. I didn't mention that yet, but definitely you want shoes on your feet for this, especially with weights. You don't want to drop a weight on your toe. Ouch. All right, we're going to start with some slow skaters. The objective here is, again, to continue our warm up, continue to move. It's not, again, we're not getting cardio here. We're really just about moving our body in different planes of motion, getting our shoulders warmed up too, our arms, our legs, everything fired up. We're ready to roll. You got this. This is gonna be so fun, you guys. A little head to toe action. Nice deep breaths for me. Remembering to breathe, always. All right, coming back, feet grounded under the body. I want you to go ahead and take your feet a little bit wider than the hips. So when I say hips, I mean hip points, and toes and knees straight ahead, hands on the hips. I just want you to move side to side and just kind of notice, kind of trace your range of motion. So forward and back, and side to side. If you're really going to get real fancy, you can draw a circle. Go both ways. Beautiful. We're gonna do a little bit of hip opening. We are doing some squats today, so just gonna lift one leg up and around and then come back to standing. Lift up and around, back to standing. So the objective is to feel some opening deep in the hip joint. Okay, don't worry about how big your circle is. It's just about balancing, getting some stabilizing happening in the standing leg, and opening through the hip. Beautiful. We're gonna open up through the chest and get a little bit of movement happening in the upper body, little swimmer hug. So we're just gonna slap the back of the shoulder, alternating the top arm. When I come back, I'm opening through the chest, and then I'm just alternating back and forth. So feeling a nice little stretch in the upper back and in the chest. And of course, our shoulder is getting some movement there too. So we're warming up through the shoulders. Well done, my friends. Moving on, we've got some windmills, really opening up through the shoulder joint to its full range of motion. Just imagine you're swimming somewhere awesome. Where could you be? Bermuda? Bahama? Come on, pretty mama. I can't believe I just did that. Kokomo. Keeping it real, people. Do a little backstroke too. Opening up through your shoulders. All right, my friends, we're gonna transition now into our first set, which is a squat. If you don't wanna use your dumbbells, you absolutely don't have to. If you wanna work with just body weight, that's cool. But if you are gonna use those weights, go ahead and grab them. Toes and knees slightly wider than your hip points, hands by your sides. We're gonna sink into our imaginary chair. Did you hear that beep? That means we started. So toes and knees straight ahead. Now watch this mistake, watch out for this mistake, that we hinge forward this way. I want you to think about sinking your sit bones down, like your sit bones are drawn to the mat. Like you're sitting in an imaginary chair, rocking out. With every set, nice and slow, with every rep, toes and knees straight ahead, collarbones long, sinking down, pushing your way through the heels, you got it. You can tighten up that range of motion if it's feeling like too much, totally cool. No deeper than about 110 in the knees. That's our beep. All right, my friends, we're transitioning to the next exercise, which is a chest press. So come on down to your mat with your trusty weights You're gonna go ahead and come onto your back with your weights, elbows out nice and wide, feet anchored down, and you're pressing up in line with your chest. My elbows almost touch the ground and then I come back up. Now notice here that your wrists are nice and strong. You're not letting your wrists get sloppy, so nice strong wrists. Out to the sides, pressing up. Squeeze the chest at the top. Really think about the muscles that you're working. Remember to breathe. Especially important when we're strength training, especially if you're using a heavier weight. Really think about exhale as you exert. So exhale as you push up, inhale, release. Exhale as you come up. No matter what you're breathing, just make sure you're breathing. Don't worry about the patterning too much. Sometimes we can get a little distracted. And that's it, 45 seconds, boom. Bring those weights to the side, slowly bring yourself back up to standing. We're up and at her and we're getting into our bent over row. So I'm gonna bend at my knees, grab my weights, and for this bent over row, we're gonna plant those feet, sink the knees a little bit, and I'm hinging at the hip. So I'm keeping my back nice and flat, and I'm rowing back. So my elbows brush the sides of my hips, and then I come back down. Elbows brush the sides of the hips, and back down. So it's a little bit sneaky because you're having to use your glutes as well. I'm rowing nice and low, shoulders away from the ears, squeezing between the shoulder blades at the top. Awesome job, nice and slow and controlled. You got it. Well done. Finishing it off all the way to the end of the set. Almost there. Finish that rep. Beautiful job. All right, next exercise is a reverse lunge. I'm gonna show you from the side. So if you're on a mat or just you need a little bit of space behind you, hands down by your sides, we're gonna big step back and down, drop the back knee down. That front knee's not traveling past the toe, pushing off the back leg, back up to standing, and switch. Again, if you wanna ditch your weights, you're more than welcome. But adding that little bit of extra weight, woohoo, lost my balance, which might happen for you too, right? Find that balance, core is engaged with every big step. You got her. Keep going. Nice long collarbones, tall body. All the way through. There is our beep. Make sure you balance out if you're started on the opposite foot. Our next exercise, my friends, is a lateral raise. So we're gonna keep the same weights. If you need to, you can lighten up or ditch them. And feet under the hip bones. We're gonna bring the weights up and over to the sides and back on down. All right, so up to the sides. Notice I'm rotating at my shoulder and my thumb is pointing the kind of thumbs up position. And I'm not bringing my weights past my shoulders. So it's just up to shoulder height, slightly below if anything. Almost there. Out to the sides. Almost there. There's that beep. Good job, you guys. All right, next exercise is a reverse fly. So it's gonna get the posterior deltoid as well as the mid-back again. We're gonna come into that bent over position, so hinging at the hip crease, nice little bend in the knees, round out the arms is the trick here. So we're gonna open up, squeezing the shoulder blades together. Now resist the urge for those shoulders to creep up towards the ears. So we're coming out to the sides and back down nice and slow and controlled. It's not just about that lift up, but also about the slow release. Remembering to breathe. All the way, you got this. Almost there. Awesome job, you guys. All right, we're almost through, we're almost there, but 3 more exercises. We're gonna start one weight with this next one. We're gonna do a wood chop. So feet nice and wide, hands over the top of the dumbbell, down, up and across. Down, up and across. You got her. Good job, you guys. Using your breath, really swinging that weight with intentional momentum and power, and then a little pause up at the top, and a little pause down at the bottom. Now don't worry about your other side, I got you. Second set, we're gonna do the other side, or next set rather. Good job, keep going. Feeling this in your arms, feeling this in your back and your glutes. All the way, you got her. There it is. All right, other side. So we're gonna stick with this exact same position, but we are gonna go in the other direction. So same positioning, grab the top of the dumbbell, reaching down, remember those toe pivots, down and up. Other side. Good job. So noticing those feet pivoting side to side, using your abdominals, using your arms to transfer the power from the core. Little pause at the top, little pause at the bottom. Way to go. Keep going. All the way. Awesome job. We have about 10 more seconds left. Keep going. You can do this. That's it. Finish that last rep off. Beautiful. Last exercise. How did we get here so fast? Boom. Go ahead and come onto your back. Make sure that other weight is out of the way. Weight is gonna come onto your hips. So you can come on down. Weights on the hip points. Feet in alignment with the bum, and you're gonna lift up into a bridge. If you find like the weight is too much for you, you can always, again, ditch the weight, but coming up almost to the ground, and then up again, really squeezing the glutes. Now, what I want you to notice, you have a little imaginary ball between your knees. You're really pushing your hips up, squeeze the glutes at the top, come on down. So it's that contract and that relax. You're not coming all the way down though, so there's got a bit of a constant tension on, really pushing. Notice if one side's trying to take over, try to balance it out. Remember to breathe. Almost there. That's our beep. Boom, way to go, my friends. Get that weight out of the way, and we are gonna transition into our stretch. Can you imagine? Unbelievable. All right, left leg is gonna extend out, right leg is gonna come into a hamstring stretch. I'm gonna go ahead and add a little rotation at the ankle, just because that feels really nice. Rolling through the ankle, feel that nice release through the hamstrings. Way to get it done, my friends. Short and sweet. Or should I say short and strong? What? I'm just full of the bad dad jokes today. All right, my friends. Go ahead and switch to the other side. Remembering to breathe. Roll through the ankle. Feel that release through the calf, through the front of the leg as well. Might get a little clunk like I did. Transition down. We're gonna come into the glutes, so ankle onto the opposite knee, pulling in, feeling that release through the glutes. Pulling in gently. If this feels like too much, you're always welcome to leave the foot down. Go ahead and switch to the other side, ankle to the knee, pulling up. Just making sure we're getting all the muscle groups here. Awesome job. Beautiful. Slowly coming onto your side and coming into a quad stretch in a laying posture. Pulling the heel towards the bum, pushing the hips forward, feeling that stretch in the front of the thigh. I don't know about you guys, but I got my sweat on. Doesn't take much when you're moving quick. Good job. Switch to the other side. Get that other quad. You can just roll over if you'd like. Get into it. push the hip forward. Feel that stretch as you pull the heel towards the bum. Awesome job. All right, release that. Come on up to seated. I told you it's quick, head to toe. We got this. We're gonna stretch out the chest, so hands behind the back in whatever seated posture you're in, just feeling that nice stretch across the chest. Feel that little opening. We'll stay here for just a couple of seconds. Beautiful. And wrapping things up, rounding the hands, opening up across the mid-back, feeling that release. And release. We're gonna finish things off as we always do with 3 breaths of gratitude for our awesome bodies. Our first breath for everything our bodies just did for us. Our second breath of gratitude for everything our bodies do for us every single day. And our third breath of gratitude for everything that is wonderful in our lives. Thank you for joining me. I am grateful for you. Way to go.